In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a watercolor painting of roses. If you're already a member of the Enjoying Art community, please plan to join us every Friday. We have 2 painting sections together. And this YouTube channel is all about how to paint and draw with relaxation. If this is the first time here, please subscribe and turn on notification. First, I'm going to plan the location. And I already cropped the reference, but doesn't really mean this will be the final composition. So let's gonna take a look. First, I use my fingers, my hand, try to get a visual. Sometimes I put 2 hands here. I'm gonna move the flower even more to the right hand side and the bottom over here. So I have some flower petals on the table. So I'm gonna put that at the top, right? And take a look at the right side and the flower, the small flower over here. So I also mark some important mark like the table. I make sure that the bottom of the glass right over here. So I have another flower petal blocking the bottom a little bit that make it look more interesting. I'm gonna have this flower petal over here like that. Here you go. And then this one over here. Before you paint it on the paper, you already have a painting in your mind. You should do that for whatever painting, even doing with the oil painting. Do a little bit more thinking. I divide this shape in this smaller flower. That's good. And I'm going to challenge you. If you want to, you just use the calligraphy brush. You're not going to have the fear of afraid of watercolor. Like that. And whatever put it on the paper can stay as the final mark, a part of the final presentation of the painting. And I'm just do a little bit like that. So now I got an idea of what the final painting looks like. I'm gonna give a little suggestions. The end of table over there, like that. The top of the water over here. If you think it's too much, you just use the brush with the water. You can erase it. So you should not be so afraid of it. Give it a little bit more serious consideration. How you're going to compose it. How much room you want to leave on the left and the right. What the painting look like. Your first step of the painting, you want to cover as much as you can. But be a little careful. Some area you don't want to cover. Like some of the light area, you want to leave it. So you don't want to cover all of them because I want to cover the big spaces really fast. So it's very important to use this large brush. In that case, I'm just gonna tap a little red color inside the shadow area. In the rose, you want to see the area except the light area. You can see you're very focus on what is the light areas. It's like inside over here, there's no light area. And a little bit, it just use the corner. You see how fast that you can move forward in this, right? And coming over. Now I use the other corner. The other corner was just a little bit lighter, supposed to. This flower, I can do that a little bit later. Take a look at the glass area. What is the color? And I'm going to see mostly gray. So I'm going to have this color, start with this color. And so I'm going to just I'm going to leave the highlight on the top of the glass. I can do that like over here. This could be considered the first round. You don't need to be too nervous about how the final color will look like. Okay. So I want to be a little careful. Only thing you need to be careful about is the highlight area. So you can see that I'm painting around the highlight. So in your mind, you only see what's the highlight. Okay, that put it like that, and you don't need to worry too much. When you worry too much, you get distracted. Now coming down at the bottom over here, it looks like a little red. So I'm gonna set a little red with the blue color, right? And put a little color like that over here. So this is how you see through. Now tap on it. And the bottom over here also have a little highlight. And now I'm gonna come into the bottom over here and I'm gonna add a little blue color. So you see the color, analyze the color as you go. And now I'm going to painting around this flower petal. And here has a little bit grade right over here. Now I see a little trouble I already made because I killed the light over here. So I just clean my brush and remove all the water. And now I'm gonna come in over here, just use this brush. You see that? You can remove the color. I'm gonna do it one more time. And I can remove that really well. Just hold the brush like this. And anything you want to remove, like over here, I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna come in like that. And maybe on the top over here, that looks fine, but I'm gonna remove a little bit more light. So at this step, you can use your large brush. Also going to put a little bit yellow green color. How about into this flower? Just divide it, the shape, so you can see, okay, some area is a little bit darker. You can plane it on, set the tone, set the areas that I say, oh, this is darker, and I'm gonna leave the white like that. You don't have to think flower. You can just think about, oh, there's different shape of colors. So be a little careful on, because there's a little red on the edge over here. So you can see the color actually interact between these two flowers. So I'm gonna actually make this also a little bit lighter. Just adjust it with the large brush. Now I'm gonna cover everything except the areas really white. Okay. So in this step, I'm gonna create a big balance. It's a very crucial process. I'm gonna take the red and the blue color. And how much red, how much blue, you decide. Okay, you can start from the top over here. Here you go. There's lots of wet paints. You can change the color at this step. I want it to be maybe a little bit darker. And okay, a little bit darker. Start from the top. Now pay attention. You're gonna leave the light space, and which is the flower. Because this flat brush have a very good corner. You can actually define the edge pretty well, and like that. So it's no worry. It's as good as your other brushes that you can actually reserve it. So see the edge is really well like that, and coming down, and the cup, and coming down over here. Basically, I'm wetting the paper with pinks. So you don't need to wet it with just water. I'm wetting it. So making sure I have enough wet over here. I come down over here first, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna work on other areas. So if you don't have enough water in your paint, in your mixture, the color would getting dried really fast, and you're gonna have a very textured when you come back. Try to continue. Okay, now I'm gonna spontaneously mix the new color as I go, and the water is a little bit different from here to here, so I'm gonna paint it over here again. So try to get a little bit more consistent texture after you dry. So I'm gonna coming down over here. Make sure you have enough the wet paint coming over here, and see that it's very, very important to have a consistent, beautiful background. And now I'm gonna come back on this side, and I'm gonna try to take care of that. And I'm gonna have something really, really dark. So I'm gonna have less water. See that, just between these two colors. I'm gonna just put it right over here. And the bottom over here, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker on this side too. And coming all the way over here, painting around. And there you go. I'm take a look at there's a little flower petal at the bottom. Just use the corner of this brush. It's very efficient. And now coming over here and painting around here. Here, take a look at the shape. And all the small details, we have the calligraphy brush. We can come back to add the details. So no worry to worry too much. Okay, just enjoy the process. That's very important. And I'm gonna just use the corner. You see that I can paint it a little bit inside over here. Here you go. Now, think about the shapes, the shape. Everything we look for at this point. I'm gonna have a little bit more red. I can add a little bit yellow to the table a little bit later. But at this point, I'm just going to continue with the same color. Now I'm gonna come back here to close the whole background color. I'm gonna come back here. Here you go. Connect that down over here. Still really wet. That's good. Now I'm gonna take a look at. Just pay attention to the white shape. Try to reserve it. That's good. Now this is the whole outside. I'm gonna coming over here. That's good. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna have this come in a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna connect that to, no, I'm gonna have it connect to the glass like that. Here you go. And at this point, I can do a little wet into wet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just drop in some solid color, almost solid, like that, just between these two color. Like here you go. I'm gonna just put it over there, put the shape over here. That's okay. And I'm gonna put some even darker color over here. Put a little shape over there. That's good. Right. On the top over here, gonna clean my brush. You can always change your mind, be spontaneous. What I'm trying to do right now is just clean a dry flat brush. What I'm gonna do is just use half of the brush and leave a little bit texture, and just like that. That's good enough. Okay, like that to see. You don't want to overdo this, but this is enough texture for me to go on a little bit later. So this is a little lifting. Watch out, there is quite a bit of wet on the top over here because of this white shape blocking it coming down. So you need to lift it up. Okay, otherwise it's going to stay there. It's create a different texture than the surrounding. Okay, at the bottom over here too. I could just lift it up like that. That's good. And then let it dry and then come back to do the next step. I'm going to continue with this 1-inch flat brush. I'm going to do adjusting. Like say now the whole glass, it looks like a very isolated from the surrounding. I want it to be more integrated into the whole background because the glass very much you can see through it, right? You can see lots of those colors should be in over here. And also the side of the flower over here, I want to have those also connected, not into the smaller shape yet. I want to still focus on the large area. So where I'm going to start, I'm going to take this color, have a little bit more blue. And then I'm going to just come in over here, see how you can use this large brush, feel like a small brush, okay? Just use the corner. And just painting around the highlight right on the edge over here. After you put the darker color next to the highlight, and the highlight would actually shine, it will see standing out a lot, okay? Looking at that. And over here on the top, I'm going to paint it over. I'm going to have a little bit more red color so I can see this area. Have a little bit more red. So see that looks like the background. Alright, so I'm going to paint a little bit faster from here. Now I'm going to have it like that on the bottom. And I can do a little lifting a little bit later. I'm going to continue with the same color that I used for the background. And like that coming over, that's good. Now, soon enough, you feel that it actually the glass, more like feeling the glass, because you have the background color in the glass. Okay, here we go, and have the color coming over here. Just use the side of this brush, and like that, I'm gonna coming to the top over here, have a little bit blue, just tap on, have a little bit blue over here. Like that, couple line, that's good, like this. Okay, now at this point, I also going to Okay, I'm gonna watch out to see that the value. I'm gonna make sure that the edge over here is darker than the outside. I'm gonna tap a little dark color in here, like that. That's good. A little dark color over here, a little dark color, just drop in the color. That will be fine. And at this point, I'm also going to paint a little green color. So I'm going to take the yellow color, mix it into here. That green color is not really that bright. So we just add the yellow color, put it into here, that's fine. Okay, like that, coming in here. Right, that's cool. And I'm going to divide the green shape into smaller a little bit later, but at this point I'm just going to have a little green color like that. It's give a little suggestions. In the process of painting from big to small, it's important to keep convincing yourself as you're painting through, like this is what color, this is what object, and just put a little color over there, even though it does not mean to be finished. And this is very important process that you can see that convince yourself. So I'm gonna actually put a little color on the outside as well, so I have a look like a little bit connecting somewhere over here. So now you can put the second layer into the background and keep using the large brush so that it would more feeling connected, organized. Okay. Now on the top over here, I'm also going to put a little bit more red. I'm feeling like there should be a little red, a little bit more red, even though the reference doesn't showing that way. So you can change that. I'm gonna looking at the shape over here. I don't want it to go too fast. Let's go a little bit slowly by having the curve. And I'm coming the top over here like that. It's good. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit, continue, and just use the side of the brush, that's the corner, have somehow connected, maybe a little bit too hard, that shape. So I'm gonna just like that, that's good. And add a little bit simple shape into that, that is good. Now to make the background more meaningful, I'm gonna soften that a little bit. Now I'm gonna get to the top over here. I'm gonna have this corner a little bit darker by having a little blue over there. That's fine. Now the background wet again, and this is good. And I'm going to add some color inside the flower over here. At this point, I'm going to switch to my calligraphy brush. I'm going to add some bigger shape. I'm going to take the looking at the color. When you squint your eye, you can see the color even better. Take a look at this color, a little bit gray. So like this. This will be the shape over here. Just put it down and then moving a little bit and connecting to the outside. You see now the outside and the inside now more like connected at this point, like that. Starting over here, now connected. That's good. Right, that's good. And on the top over there, I'm gonna have a little bit more red. Just a little red color and put it in here. Here you go. I just need to worry about the whole big area, not the smaller area. Like that, that's good. And it connect to the outside, that's fine. Painting around, there's a little shape on the edge over here. And a little shape on the edge over here too. So I'm painting around this a little white, a little light shape of the top at the top of the petal, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to have a little bit yellow. Actually, I'm gonna feeling this a little bit more like orangeness color. So I'm gonna have it here. Now, if you use this brush a little more, you know how to create different shape with one stroke by push it down and lift it up at what point, right? So like that. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna paint the whole thing in the inside over here is actually look more darker and like that, the whole shape over here. I'm gonna leave the area supposed to be lighter. But you want to see that as the bigger shape as much as you can. And I'm gonna take this color again and soften that a little bit. And it looks like I'm gonna have this a little bit connected. You just open up the brush that you can do that very easily and connect it over there, and that's good. And now I'm gonna have a little bit gray color. That's right, this is very gray. And I can see a little shape over here, a little gray just like that. It's not all bright color. And now I'm gonna come to the bottom over here. You see quite a bit of gray, like a little brown color. So I'm gonna get a little bit yellow mixed into here. So I'm gonna just put it right here, just big area. Now lower have a little bit more blue, so you can sensitive how the color actually change. And also can just use the middle of the brush as my blender. You can see that you can get it up over here. You can make a lot of expressions really quickly. Okay, like that. And now cut the little shape a little bit smaller. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna do a little bit darker with a little blue color. So I'm gonna put a little color over here. I put a little color over here. And here you go. Now I'm gonna have that and give a little definitions, a little line coming through over here. Here you go. And a little line over here, and a little line on the leaves. Now you can add something in here, but watch and look for evidence before you doing too much. Okay, I'm gonna get a little yellow color. I'm gonna coming from here, coming up like this. That's the stem. But you don't want to have them too soft to merge together. And keep it as shape. Keep it as a bigger shape. That's a very interesting shape. And over here too, I'm gonna have a little bit darker color like that. So soon enough, you can see actually lots of suggestions how the glass look like. And over here, have a little bit, think about the interaction between those shapes. Shape it really good. I can lift up the color really well. So over here, start at the corner over here, I'm gonna make this a little bit lighter. I can lift it up even still a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to shape a little bit. Now I'm going to start moving with the whole brush sideways. See that how easy? Immediately you have the illusion of the water. Like that. That looks really good already. And now the bottom over here, just a little bit lift it over. Other brush may not be able to do this for you, like the round brush, or if your flat brush, it doesn't shape well, it also make you to have to make lots of effort before you can do that. And the bottom over here, and I'm gonna have lift it up a little bit. I'm gonna use the other corner like this. Okay. I don't want to overdo this, otherwise it would make it feel like a little overworks. And here I'm just use this corner, give a couple suggestions of thing coming down, and also going to have the top over here, the corner. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. Be patient, and lift it up a little bit later, and I can come back a little bit later. And here you go. I lift it up over here, and the top over here. Give a little suggestions. That is the top of the glass, the top edge. We're coming back to use more. That's good. I'm gonna leave a little bit over here, like that. This is good. And I'm gonna leave a little bit over here, this adjusting. Remember when we do portrait painting in watercolor, we can always have a step to adjust edges. So this will be the same step, like that, a little bit softer. This is good. And now it's already look pretty good. Already almost there. Now I'm gonna put a little bit very dark color to give it a little bit more define the dark shape. just the Windsor blue and the Windsor red. I'm gonna come over here, see that? I'm gonna give a little bit suggestions like that, and coming down a little bit indication. It would really help to suggest the space, how much you want to suggest it, that how close that would be. I'm gonna coming over here to touch it into the glass, and that's good. I'm gonna come over here to just half of my brush, give a little mark over here, just bring that forward a little bit more. I'm gonna get a little red color. I'm just going to a little bit later softly connect that over here, and a little big shape over there. That's good enough. A little bit over here too. And now at this point, I'm also going to add a little darker color into here too. Maybe a little too early because now I merge into the wet area. That's okay, like that. So that would be fine. I can just leave it up over there. No big deal. Okay. I'm gonna have a little bit more red. Now at this point, you see the glass is very much integrated with the background. It looks pretty good. Now at the bottom over here, now I'm gonna just the clean brush softly and let it softly integrate it into here, like that. And this shape, I'm gonna softly blend it out a little bit. I think the balance is pretty good now. So I'm gonna go into the finishing up with the details and the dark tone colors. Before we go into this flower, let's put a little attention into the petal over here, because we may come back after this drive. So we do this first and then go into the flower and then can come back over here and do it again, right? So let's work on the little gray color which is facing to the table. So I'm painting this with this calligraphy brush. Very easy to control the shape, and that's over here. Have a little bit more greenish color, so get a little yellow with the blue color. So here you go. That's good. And on the other side, I have a little bit more green, so sensitive to the color. Take the yellow and the blue color, and that's good. A little bit more. A little blue color with the yellow. That's very bright green color. So I'm gonna right over here. See that? This color, two color merged together become very beautiful. And I'm gonna also have this little color over here too, but on this side have a little bit more yellow. Just add a little yellow to it, like that. That's pretty fine. And take a look at here. On the tip over here, also have a little bit bright green color. So that's just good. And I'm gonna continue with the gray color, and coming down over here, a little gray color. Just take this a little bit more blue gray. That's good. Connect that over here, and seeing the side, the bottom over here, like that. That's good. Now take a look. This also already looks pretty good. And on this side, I'm gonna have a little bit red. Actually, I'm gonna quickly change a little red color. So more you paint, more you study the basic fundamental value and color study, and you'll be able to discover seeing the colors really quickly. So spend more time on the color mixing exercise, really helpful for you to going faster. That's good. And the middle over here, I'm gonna start with this color. It looks pretty good, like that. Now I used just the water, dilute the color right on the paper. Now here you go. Now coming over here, just use the side, like that. That's good. Very, very well. I'm gonna get a little blue color on the top over here, just like that, and softly. And we can come back to do a little more a little bit later. Okay. So now our attention is gonna move into the flower. So let's take a look at some area. I'm gonna touch it a little bit earlier so we can come back to do the second round. I'm gonna mix a little green color. The gray green colors, not really bright. Like this will be pretty great. And I'm gonna put it in here. See, this area need to be closer value to the other side of the flower petal. I'm also put a little color over here too. Okay, think as a shape. It's easier to see that and easier to make decision. And don't think it's a flower is making you too nervous, right? And now I'm gonna coming into here, very much the similar color. I'm gonna put it over here, see a little big shape, continue into that. And I'm gonna try to keep this little flowers a little bit more fresh, which is less dark colors. Keep it overall a little bit light. So this calligraphy brush and can give you all different shapes really quickly. So focus on the whole area, this whole area here, like that. A little bit in the middle. That's good. Coming around over here. It's already look like a flower. Any areas actually facing this flower have a little bit feeling of red, because that is the color reflected from the flower on the side. Just add a little red color to the side, as that wherever is facing to that red flower. It would be really helpful to create that illusion and that feeling. And I can have a little bit darker green color, and just the yellow and the blue color. And I'm just gonna, that's too dark. Let go some of the paint and just put it right over here. Just a little bit somewhere. That's good. At the corner over here, a little bit like that. That's already pretty good. Now I'm gonna look into this flower. Now the first thing I'm gonna do, mix a little red color into here. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna actually put a little color in here. Now we divide this big shape into a smaller shape over here. And that's good. I'm gonna have a little bit softer, just use the water and softly blend that color into here. And a little bit over here. Divide that. A little suggestions, it'll be create lots of good illusion, connection, imaginations. I'm gonna get a little bit yellow color with the red. I'm gonna come in over here. This color is supposed to be pretty bright, so I'm gonna make this a little directly with this two color together, like right over here. I'm gonna put it down one stroke, and inside over here a little stroke, and very simple. Just looking for the smaller and smaller shape, and little color coming over here. Okay, open up the brush, and a little bit color. Take this same color, a little bit color at the front over here, like that, and coming through. So suggest that's the petal, and also keep a little bit color over here, right on the edge over here, like that, and have this connecting in here. You see, little by little, with your patience, and you can. It's very important as is the process, and that make you focus on each layer of the painting, and like this. And I'm going to have the little bit more yellow into here because it's really fresh. So take this color, watch out, like right over here, one tap, and moving it up, like a one stroke, a little bit over here, like that. All right, this is good. And the flower also appear to be a flower, a lot more information. And I'm gonna looking at this suggestion for this petal and coming like this, connecting in here. That's good. And the edge over here, give a little tip, a little suggestion, like that, and stare. And I'm gonna take a look at a little more suggestions over here by seeing a little more red color in here to see through from inside the flower. So you can overlay, just integrate a soft red color into here, and also here too. A little bit color over here, and have a little bit greenish color coming down at the bottom over here, like that as the shadow. Now we're coming back into this area to seeing that is a little bit indication, and over here, a little bit over here to create more suggestion for the form. I'm gonna get a little red color, here you go, and into this shape. I want to have this connecting to the outside over there, over here, and softly connect that into the whole shape. And this shape also need to be a little bit lighter, should not be so dark. Now that's good. The flower is getting a lot of attention. Now what I want to do, I'm gonna mix a little bit dark color. Just get a little yellow in here, make it like a dark green. Put it in the flowers, the leaves here. I'm gonna have a little bit coming this way, and here you go. The stem right over here, like that. Okay, a little bit dark shape, a little bit darker, have a little bit more blue. I'm just gonna put a little bit darker blue color over there, and a little bit dark color over here, and hit this dark color as a connect and the top over here, and here you go. That's good. A little shape coming down over here. Just keep thinking about shape, shape, shape. It will get there. Okay, now I'm gonna have a little bit blue color coming on this edge, like that, showing that on the top of the here on the edge. Also give a little suggestions like that. That's good. Have a little line coming through this way, enforcing the top of the glass. Now I'm gonna painting a little color isolate to make the highlight a little bit more exclusive. So I'm gonna have that over here and painting around the really light shape, and also the top over there too. You see, you can always do that in the later step, like now. Okay, now I'm gonna put this down a little bit, have this shape a little bit more connected, organizing them a little bit better, and like that. And then look at the bottom over here. I'm gonna mix a little bit darker color. Here you go. Now I'm gonna come back over here to show that the background. I'm gonna show that a little bit better. Okay, that's good. A little shape coming here too. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna come into the bottom over here, add some line back in here. That's good, right? And little by little, you capture the shape, you capture the value, and you capture the imagination of the audience. Okay, like that. And the bottom over here, I'm gonna add a little suggestions back here. And take a look at inside over here, have a little bit more red color. So coming over here and get a little bit blue color on the edge. I'm gonna take a little blue color, lay wet into wet, merge together. And now on the bottom of the glass, I'm gonna have a little bit of this gray color. Here you go. Now coming into divide this shape and have a little bit blue, just a little blue, and divide a little detail, and showing that very interesting highlight like that. And also here I'm gonna make the bottom a little bit darker, so make the top over here this highlight, show a little bit more, and have a little bit blue. Here you go, like that. Now the glass is there. Okay, make this a little bit softer, like that. Now I'm gonna also add a little suggestion for the leaves. So get a little yellow, a little red, because I want it to be darker. So like this would be a very dark green color. So I'm gonna tap it over here, put it down and then moving it up. I'm going to show you the stroke. Like that. Cool. That's what the calligraphy brush can do for you. And I'm going to have some really lighter green color, like on this side. And I'm going to do the tip first, like this. But I'm going to continue with the brighter green color. So I'm going to just mix the yellow and the blue color. Here you go. Here is a little bit brighter green color. That's good. Right. I'm going to also have a little bit this green color over here too. And the bottom over here, I'm going to make it also darker. Like that. Here you go. I highly recommend this brush set. If you haven't tried it, this is the best time to get it from enjoyingart.com. They are on sale. And it's also the best time to send it to your friends as your holiday gifts. Let's spread the joy of painting watercolor.